السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Hello everyone. How are you today? كل سنة وانتم طيبين. رمضان كريم. يا رب تكونوا دايما في صحة وعافية. Today we will talk about length and how to measure length. Like here, if you still remember this question. As you can see, we have here car and crocodile, and I want to measure the length of this car. Do you remember how to measure the length of this car? The distance between the start here and the end here, this distance, how to measure? Yeah, the question says use squares, these squares, to measure the length of these objects, and the first thing here is the car. So how can we measure the length of this car? Excellent. We will count how many squares. The length of this car from the start to the end equal how many squares? Okay, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the length of this car equal 14 squares. 14 squares. Okay, what about the crocodile? Can you do the same? If you can stop the video. Okay, pause it and count how many squares, then play the video again. Have you finished? Okay, now let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the length of this crocodile equal 9 squares. Excellent. Now, okay, mister, so if I want to measure any length, do I have to measure it using squares or circles? No. What if I want to measure the length of this truck? In our lesson today, we will take a new way to measure the length of big or long objects. This way we will call it stride. Stride. As you can see here, you will move, and your move or your step, we call it stride. Stride is the distance between the first leg and the second leg. As you can see here, this distance we call it stride. So you can stand here at the beginning of the truck, okay, like that. Then you will move step by step and count how many steps from the beginning to the end to know the length of this truck. Can we do it together now? Let's see. We will start from here and count how many strides or how many steps. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the man moved 7 steps from the beginning to the end. So I can say that the length of this truck equal 7 strides. 7 strides. So the length of this truck equal 7 strides. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the length of the truck equal 7 strides. I think it's easy. Let's take another example. As you can see here, it's our classroom, okay? And One of you wanted to measure the length of the classroom. So what shall he do? Okay, he will stand at the beginning of the class like that, and he will move to the end of the class. Then while he is moving, he will count how many steps from the beginning of the class to the end. Huh? Are you ready to count with me? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Excellent. So we can say that the length of the classroom equal 9 strides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 steps, or we can say it here, 9 strides. Okay? Did you get it? Okay. Now I want to ask you, please stand up. Yes, you. Stand up and try to measure the length of your room. Okay? Go to your room and try to measure its length using strides. And you can write a comment and tell me how many strides is the length of your room. Okay? Pause the video, try to do it, and come again. Have you finished? Excellent. Okay. Now, please open your supporting material and answer this one. Your supporting sheet or supporting material, page 5. How long is the room? This is a room, and this boy tried to measure how many strides is the length of the room. Can you do it? Okay, hurry up. Pause the video, try to answer, and come again. Have you finished? Yeah, excellent. Now, let's count. How many strides? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the length of the room equal 5 strides. 5 strides. 5 strides. Excellent. Okay, mister. This is how we can measure the length of any long objects. Right? What about the short objects? Like a table. If you wanted to measure it with the strides, it may be 1 stride or 1.5. So what's the point here? How can I measure it? In this case, if we have small or short objects and we want to measure it, we will use hand span. Hand span. Hand span is the length between the first finger and the last finger. You will stretch your hand as you can, and the distance between the top of the first finger and the top of the last finger, we call it span or hand span. Okay, how can we use it, ya mister? If we have a table here like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the length of this table equal 4 hand spans or 4 spans. Did you get it? Yeah, the length of the table equal 4 hand spans. Okay, let's take another one. This door, okay, and I want to measure its length. How can I do it? Okay, stretch your hand and start to measure how many spans, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the length of the door equal how many spans? 5. Equal 5 hand spans. Did you get it? Okay, excellent. Now I want you pause the video, go to your door, okay, and try to measure it with your hand. Stretch your hand, okay, and do as we did here to measure the length of your door, okay? And when you finish, you can come and play the video, and after you finish the video, you can put a comment and tell me the measure of your door's length. Okay. Now, in general, we will say that we have two ways to measure length. We have two ways to measure length. Hand span, stride. And as we said, hand span here for the small objects, right? Or the short objects, like your bed, window, even a car. What about the stride? We use it with the long objects, like a building, classroom, truck. Did you get it? Okay, I think we've finished here. This is your homework in your supporting material page 5. Choose the appropriate unit to measure these lengths. How can I measure the length of our classroom with the stride or span? How can I measure table? How can I measure corridor? How can I measure room door? How can I measure bus? How can I measure window? Can you do it? All you have to do to choose the appropriate unit, okay? Which way you are gonna use to measure the length of these objects. Now, thank you for watching.